Weighing in at just 5.7 pounds with an overall length of 35.8 inches, with a muzzle velocity of 425 feet per second, the first thing I noticed when inspecting the Springfield Armory M1 Carbine Air Rifle is the overall quality, authenticity, and the beauty of the wood stock and handguard, completing the overall detail and authenticity of this air rifle. The charging handle, the rear adjustable sight and front sight that we've all come to love when shooting an M1 carbine, all the way down to the details of the simulated bayonet lug at the end of the barrel.
We're out here on this hot Florida day in Bokeelia, Florida. It's about, I don't know, 98 degrees in the shade. And we are here to test out the new Springfield Armory licensed air rifle M1 Carbine CO2. This thing actually has a charging handle, much like a real one. It has blowback. It is semi-automatic. This is a great little rifle. This comes in two models. They have one that has a synthetic plastic stock, retails for about $199. This one is one with the real wooden stock, retails about $299. I was excited when I found out this came out because for those of you who follow our YouTube channel, listen to the podcast, you'll know that a listener sent me this one about a year ago. This is a Crosman M1 Carbine BB gun that was made in 1953. It also came in a synthetic stock and a wood stock. Now clearly this one isn't as advanced as the new one. It does have a charging handle that does nothing more than simply load one BB into the chamber. The magazine on this one is nothing more than just a place to store your extra BBs. It doesn't load or do anything like that. But it was a cool little gun. I was excited to see it. Disappointed it did not have the sling notch in the stock. And so when I saw that this one had come out, I reached out to the fine people of Springfield Armory and asked them to send me one so we can do a nice little review video on. And so here we are. Let's just hope that we can hit stuff in today's heat. So as you can see, here is the original Crosman. It definitely doesn't look realistic sitting next to a real carbine such as this airborne carbine. But as you can see, not only looks the part, but it actually has the correct length barrel. It does have the nice bayonet lug. Unfortunately, I did try. The bayonet does not fit the lug. It's a little too wide. And as you can see, it does have the right size. Much like a real one, you do have to seat this thing pretty hard to get the magazine to sit in there. So we're going to start off by shooting close up. I'm going to say it's about 10 feet just to get used to it and see where it goes.
After shooting the rifle for the first time at this small tuna can, I have to say I was rather impressed with my grouping, even though I did only land 6 shots out of 8.
Now the next target we rolled out, it's about 15 feet further than the first target. So let's see if we had the same luck and the same gripping. I think I was 5 for 6 on that one. Let's go check out the spam can.
So the second target was actually 25 feet, and it was a spam can. And as you can see, I inaccurately called it on the video. I did in fact hit 6 out of 7 shots, but the grouping definitely wasn't as tight, and the last shot hit the bottom right of the can. Thank you to Joe Gibson for bringing out his M1 Carbine Airborne Edition and allowing us to do a side-by-side comparison between the air rifle and the real thing. As you can see, the barrel length is the same, the charging handles look the same, the wood stock is beautiful just like the original. The fit, the finish, the detail, the level of craftsmanship that went into this air rifle makes it even more authentic when comparing it to an original. The rear sight and front sight are the same as we're used to when shooting a real M1 carbine. You can, on the air rifle, adjust the rear sight left and right, but there is no vertical adjustment. Now obviously on the Airborne Edition it has a collapsible stock, so we really couldn't compare there. But overall, the fit, the finish, the ergonomics, the weight, just everything about this air rifle is spot on with the original, and I just was so pleased to see the amount of craftsmanship that went into the air rifle. Now I appreciate the amount of engineering that went into the magazine. It does in fact hold the CO2 cartridge in the bottom, and then in order to load it, simply slide the spring down, lock it to the left, and then load the BBs through the aperture on the front of the magazine. Once done, release the spring and you're ready to go.
It almost seems like a real rifle. It's easier to shoot the further the target is.
Target 3 was another tuna can. This time it was at 40 feet. The grouping was very tight, but at the very bottom of the can I was shooting a little low. This time I landed 10 out of 11 shots. Target 4, and what would become my final target for the day, was another spam can at 69 feet. Unfortunately at this point I was only landing 2 out of 6 shots on this can, so I quickly did a magazine dump and called it for the day. And so here we are. We are in the What's the Scuttlebutt podcast recording studio, and I just want to wrap up this video. First and foremost, thank you guys for hanging out with us today. We had a great time shooting this video. Thanks to the fine people at Air Venturi and Springfield Armory for making this video possible. And if you're new to the channel, please click on subscribe and notifications. But let's get down to final thoughts. And that is the Air Venturi officially licensed Springfield Armory air rifle. This thing is beautiful. It's fun to shoot. As we said before, the ergonomics are there. The front sight, rear sight is what you're used to shooting with. It's beautiful. The weight is there, the stock, everything. So I can't think of a better rifle to spend your afternoons with your kids out in the backyards, shooting, having a great time, plinking, target practice. Oh, and by the way, if your child is into air rifles and is into anything World War II based, I can guarantee you that this will probably be on their Christmas list this year, and it should be on yours. If you've made it this far through this video, chances are you are a World War II aficionado or you collect World War II military weapons. Add this to your collection. Yeah, it's an air rifle, but it's also a conversation piece. So do yourself a favor, go out and pick one of these things up. You're going to be happy that you did, and you'll thank me for it. Thank you guys so much for checking us out and sticking with us throughout the video. If you're new to the channel, please click on subscribe, click the notification bell, and we'll see you next time.
Hit the target too, actually. If I should go back a little bit.
This has been a Digital 410 production.